and foremost, the first black church, yeah, the first black church ever existed for the black people. It was built by Bedward. His school also, the first black school, free education. Bedward was the one who came in with free education. He was the first man who to give black people free education. Alright, you can check this, If you check by the history of Jamaica, the last two persons who died before Bedward is George William Garden and Paul Bogle, right? Alright, remember, in George William Garden and Paul Bogle time, Jamaicans never have a free state. Come on, man. When Paul Bogle died, he was caught by the Maroons, Paul Bogle was captured by the Maroons and turned over. George William Garden also. So, after that, Bedward came. Bedward was alive in the Morant Bay Rebellion. Bedward was alive when time Paul Bogle was reigning. Bedward was alive when time George William Garden was reigning. George William Garden is a Baptist. Sam Sharp is a Baptist. Paul Bogle is a Baptist. And Bedward is a Baptist. Check it now. Remember, if Sam Sharp is a Baptist and he's a national hero, Paul Bogle is a Baptist and he's a national hero, George William Garden is a Baptist and he's a national hero, and none of them above done the work that Bedward did. Why is Bedward left out? None of the above do the work that Bedward did, even though each of them blood was spilled for the survival of the black people. So Sir Alexander Bedward, he must be recognized. Yeah, he must be uplifted. Yeah, he must be put in the hearts and mind of his people, which is the black people, local and international, universal. He must be put on the forefront of Rastafari. He must be. Because he is Rastafari. He is the one who gives us this new name, this new culture, this new belief, this new love. He resurrect African within the people. He resurrect Africa within each and every black man around here. Give you back a purpose, give you back something, your root, give you back a state of mind where you know, say, I can rise from this. Bedward teach you how to speak, and teach you how to speak for your rights, or to speak for to live, or to speak to care, or to speak to share, or to speak to help. So, it is right to say, if Sam Sharp is a Baptist and is a national hero, if George William Garden is a Baptist and is a national hero, if Paul Bogle is a Baptist and is a national hero, Bedward is the highest Baptist. He must be recognized as a national hero and a face of Rastafari, local and international. I'm not taking away anything from anyone, but some things need to put in the right perspective. Bedward teach about the coming of His Majesty. Bedward teach about the coming of His Majesty. Bedward teach about the king which shall come from the east. Bedward teach of the king which shall rise from Ethiopia. He teach of all these things. Come on, man. Remember, Rastafari, why you feel you have a song we say? That's why I like that song, Morgan Heritage. Big up on yourself, Morgan Heritage. And they said, you don't have to dread to be Rasta. I like that song because they know where Rastafari is coming from. It's not about a dreadlocks thing. Give her the conceptions of life. That is Rastafari. And Bedward bring the conception of life, and Bedward never was a man with locks. If you check it, Marcus Garvey is not a man with locks. Emperor Selecta is not a man with locks. So we don't want to teach the youth them say, you have to have locks by your head to be righteous. No, it's conception of life. No, it's the conception of life. That's why Morgan Heritage said, give I the conception of thy heart. What is the conception within your heart? Show me the conception of thy heart. Show me the company and tell me who you are. Show me your ways and I see existence. Thy hand shall till thy soil, but let thy hand till the right way, and you shall get abundance. It's not about locks. It's not about bald head or shiny head, nor no fear, nor little ear, or plat ear, or cane rub. It's about the conception of you within the person. We all fall short of glory. No man is perfect. So when we see a perfect man, we must acknowledge it and acknowledge him and don't try to find fault in him. So, Sir Alexander Bedward, apart, he said, come to Freetown. He said, come on to Freetown. And people came. And they get work. And they get job. And they get land. They get animals. They get love. They get church. They get black people. They get black love. They get freedom. Because Freetown was the place where slaves usually run from plantation and owners and come amongst Bedward. After the rebellion, all the families, check this now, all the Sharp, all the Sam Sharps, all the Sharp families, and the Bogle family, and the Garden family. Bedward was the one who ordered everyone to come to Augustown because he see that they were hunted and being killed. So Bedward laid out the order for all Sharp, Bogles, and Garden to come to this district. And in the latter, Garvey also. These were the powerful names. These were the names surrounded the creation of the black people, the Bogle, the Sharp, the Garden, the Garvey. And Bedward gathered them and said, come to Freetown because I see the struggle. You are hunted. Bedward again now, he never did with gun, he never did violence. I remember, him have over 30,000 people living in the existence of his presence day to day. And he live and he rule over them with love and care. No gun, no weapons. Bedward, the peace which Bob Marley sing of is the peace of Bedward, you know, man. Come on, no, man. The peace of Bob Marley is the peace of Bedward, you know. Right. Okay. All right. You have this person now, him name. It is fair to say because you must not leave certain founders from history. You have this person now named Shakespeare Woods. He came from the state, and he was a part of the Baptist movement. Yeah, that man born in the year 1800. So he was already 40. He was 48 years ahead of Bedward. Right? He born 1800, and when Bedward came into existence, that man already lived on a place now where them called Bedward Gardens on the riverside, carrying on the black Baptist faith, because that was the one, Shakespeare Hoods, he was the one who ordained Bedward as a leader and ruler of the Baptist movement of the Northern Kingdom. So Bedward never just take up a mantle. He take up a mantle because he have the power within. But he was given crown by the elder, which was Shakespeare Woods. Shakespeare Woods was a part of the revolution in the Americas in the 1800s when black people were slaughtering and enslaved and crippled and maimed. in the days of a person named John Crow, that great revolutionary. He fled from that scenario onto the rock of Jamaica with the order and the love of black people. So, within the teaching of Bedward, Shakespeare Woods must be recognized also as the one who ordained Bedward the leader of the Northern Kingdom Baptist faith. Alright, remember, in 1918 Spanish flu, you remember that? Check history. That is why you feel people was coming to Jamaica so rapidly. Bedward was the one who cured Spanish flu, man. He was the one who was cleaning up the environment of the world. Didn't you know that? Alright, check it now. Bedward was arrested in 1921. 1918 Spanish flu. People were flooded Jamaica and coming at the healing spring. Every Wednesday, thousands and thousands to be cleansed at the spring. Remember 1918, Bedward was the one who was cleansing the land. 1918, 1919, 1920, when the Spanish flu did that tear down the kingdoms of the world. That was the reason why people was leaving from all about in the North Americas coming to Jamaica to visit Bedward, because of that same Spanish flu. Yes. Yeah, no, all right, uncle. There are so many things. You see, I am Bedward. I rest you first, I'm Bedward. Because I take on to the spirit and the truth and the love and the soul of this man. So I give him flesh. So eventually he's speaking now. So the thing is this. He did so much. He did so much. And he must be recognized. He must be recognized. And he must be on the face of Rastafari. He must be. He must be. Alright. Life, just like how you see the sun and the moon never rest, that is how we have to deal with certain things. And many a times, it is so sad to say, it is our own government who bury the history of the people by turning a blind eye. Not saying that they know, because the government of today is not the government of yesterday who have done such things. They are ones of today, so you can see with them, them must know. They must know the truth. Them just grow by what they were taught. So, it is fair to say, I will not blame the government. I just want the government to open them ears, open them eyes, and understand what I speak of, and go to work. Because in 2016, he was recognized. All right, Louise Bennett, she is very, very great. Louise Bennett is a very great woman, a very great historian in our culture. But Bedward was doing folk music before everyone. Bedward is a hero because in 2016 Bedward was crowned hero of Jamaican folk music. You believe that? In the year 2016, so the government do know, the truth and facts about Bedward. Right, the hero of folk music. Because if you check back in the days, it was Bedward was the only one who artists were singing about. Deep them Bedward, deep them in the healing stream, deep them. Yeah, it was Bedward and many more songs. It was Bedward who all the artists were singing song about in those days before the reggae music come in. And then now after that, after he was incarcerated, you have another set of musicians who rise now and start sing bad things about Bedward. Same try fly on them something and change him history in the subliminalness of people's mind. If you check history, them use music and kill him as well, you know. Because you have a set of artists who rise up in those days who sing negative songs about Bedward. Some of them have locks. So sad to say. So sad to say. To show you the ignorant. Because if a true Rastafari know the meaning of Rastafari, he will acknowledge Bedward. Anyone who know the meaning and the creation of Rastafari, you will acknowledge the Right Honorable Sir Alexander Bedward. Because this was the man who created the only successful, self-reliance, free black community. Right? The only one who created a free self. Alright. Let us reason. Let us reason. Marcus Garvey is so great, and no one can remove that. But Bedward was more successful. Because Bedward had land where he give people to live. He have businesses where he have people in. Black people have their own money. Black people have their own land. Black people have their own house. Black people could go to school free. Black people were out of the hands of colonial government. Over 30 years. So Bedward was successfully ruling over our people, you can say, for 35 years or more. Successfully. Thank you. Successfully. And he never get no international aid. He never get no funding from Europe nor America. No. Because among Bedward was, alright, check this now. Among the Bedwardites, there were carpenters, builders, masons, teachers, lawyers. Name them. The Bedwardites were very intelligent. They were peaceful, loving, caring, hardworking people. Never depend on the outside Kingston to support them. They support the outside Kingston. The market system of Jamaica is created after the Bedwardites. Bedward have the first market system ever existed in Jamaica. Bedward was the first one who ever sold spring water. Bedward was the first one who give the children and the people free education, free medicine, free hospitality, free land. Come on, man. And he's a black man. Come on, man. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? How long? Bedward, hear my cry, hear my plea. When the Baptist already preach, reaching out to you, my brother. Bring more joy, bring more peace. Let God the pastor already teach, reaching out to you forever. Yeah. Oh, you want them to know this. Bedward invite tourists to Jamaica. You make up and salsa. You first it's free water. He was the healer. Bedward, he is thy preacher. He write the promise key. He write the promise key. Hear my cry, hear my pleas. When on the Baptist already preach, reaching out to you, my brothers. Bring more joy, bring more peace. When on the pastor already teach, reaching out to you forever. Yeah. Check it up. Look at them, the sister, them a work to the devil. Wonder why them lights so miserable. Turn up the bass, turn up the treble. Words from Bedward, sharp and bevel. Do them the step as the duck like kettle. Here we I tell you, Sam if he tell you. Listen to your mama and what she a tell you. Stop preaching badness before somebody shell you. If you're in a bush and make somebody smell you. Papa didn't tell you. Just move like slave like somebody sell you. Just move like slave like I sell somebody sell you. Hear my cry, hear my plea. When on the Baptist already preach, reaching out to you, my brothers. Bring more joy, bring more peace. When on the pastor already teach, reaching out to you forever. Yeah. Oh, you want them to know this. Bedward invite tourists to Jamaica. You make up and salsa. You first it's free water. He was the healer. Bedward, he is thy preacher. He write the promise key. He write the promise key.
Yes, 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 yes. And to run that, Selecta, I'm here with Russ Ash the first. Russ Ash?
Yes, Papa. My respect.
Yes, 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 yes. You know, as we talk about Sir Alexander Bedward. Um, and then again, in working in getting to get the right recognition, like how people know the importance. You know what I mean? Because you need to know, if you know your proper history, then that influence how you move along
All
in
right.
the future. But you know what I mean? So, what can just people in general, those who are listening in Jamaica, outside of Jamaica, to have that happen?
All right. The first thing you do, if you if you're away from home for a while, the first thing you do when you come home is clean up your place, right? We need to clean up his name. That is the first thing. Change the narrative which they put upon his name. Don't let this generation come and the next generation after have the same narrative. We don't want them to have the narrative of 1921. We don't want them to have that narrative of 1930 about Alexander Bedward. We want them to have the understanding and the true narrative of him being the first healer, the first black civilizer, the first black supremacist, the first black motivator, the first black inventor of the heart and soul and the mind of the black people. We need to give him the glory that heaven gives to the holy ones. Yes, we need to give him that glory. So, while we want to let this generation know the truth, we want them to continue to speak the truth that we are speaking and not the truth of the past, which destroyed this great man. That is the number one thing. Let's clean up his name and remove the wrong narrative. And while remove the wrong narrative from a person, he shall breathe free. And he shall be accepted into houses and places. All his works are there because his cemetery is here in Augustown. I sent a certain picture. His church, his church is still here, even though his church is roofless. Is the healing spring, the lands, everything. Bedward Crescent, you have Bedward Gardens. It is there, everything is there. His handiworks are there. Everything he did is here. So I want to uplift this man's name and put it in the direction in which people from near and far can visit Augustown and see the culture of this man. Augustown is not a violent place. Almost the place of freedom and peace becomes so violent. Alright, Uncle Jammy, look into this. It may be strange. Why is the university on the land of Augustown? The highest campus in the Caribbean is on the land of Augustown. And the highest hospital also. Why? And on the river of the Hope is the famous Jamaica College, where I went. Why? Because Augustown, Freetown, was the first university for the black man, in which Bedward created. The first hospital for the black man, in which Bedward created. The first college for the black man, in which Bedward created. The first recreational ground for the black man, where he could recreate in a black way, it was created by Bedward. So many things that the system do and does, it's rising from the spring of Bedward. Alright, make it even simpler, Uncle Jammy. The government, you see, it's not the government do the work, here who do the work. You see, NGOs, and more each and every person to list this clearly. Non-government organization. These are the persons who help the nations of the earth more than the government. Because NGOs actually rub shoulders with the suffering, the sick, the weak, the lame, the blind, the deaf, the dumb. And the government now create an organization system which passes amendment to the proceeds of the NGOs. Am I right or am I wrong? So the NGOs, these are the people who sit down and see the suffering of the people and come out and ask for aid and help and strength and certain things to help them within them organization where them have to move forward for the poor people. Government no do nothing. So thumbs up to each and every NGO. Such as me. I'm an NGO. Or you can call me an NGO, a non-government entity. But I have to do what I am doing. Because it's just the running of the world. It's just the running of the world, and we have to just keep strong in everything. And believe, right? I'm here.
Yeah, man. You're hard at work. while, I've seen some of the things you're doing through the social networks and everything. So I not just like just sit on one side and then just come and talk like say, yeah, you know what I mean? It's you're actively out there, you know. So what are some of the things you're doing, or do you have others along with you that as far as getting, first of all, you know, with today's world is getting things public, getting it publicized, getting
Right.
more people to be aware, even to say, all right, let them go find out about this man. And one of the things I want to also ask about that, as far as literature, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, because it's you know, because somebody may hear the internet, like you said, there's so much. We just have cover basis. We're giving is some awareness. You know what I say? Um, you know, as far as literature, to research further and to know more
Of
about
course. All right. You see,
Sir Alex.
from your
Yeah.
typing, from your typing Alexander Bedward, a lot of things you have to start see. Good
Yeah.
and bad. Good mixed with bad.
Yeah.
And the bad which is mixed with the good, it destroyed the good which existed. Because many people, the thing is this, you know, many people had this man as a man who,
Are in this case, what was deemed as bad because, like you said, it's a perception. Um, you know what I mean? Like, all right, example, me not really, or me for say, fight down what you say, right? All right, that's an
right,
example. That's an example. So, if a man come down and say, no, man, listen, the man just, you know, you're not going to come just, you know?
right.
So, yeah, so kind of that same something. Go on within that time.
All right. You see, if you type in Alexander Bedward, they have a lot of history. Google have histories for him. Yeah, you Google have history for him. And you see, the more the more you're googling,
Yeah,
the more you're googling Alexander Bedward, the more you look and the more you see. Just continue look and by the time you reach a fragments and a proportion of certain things where you find, your heart and your consciousness are going to arise to a reality and say, this man have been set up.
no, and the written material are there in was it you that I was speaking to about possibly get some written
Right,
published
right, all right.
material?
Of course. All right.
Yeah,
Presently I have a great connection between Bedward and Marcus, which was never told. Uh, uh, uh,
yeah,
the first tour which will ever be released, and I don't exactly get the date of the release of this tour as it because the first release it will be published in the paper in the Jamaican paper. So you know, so me I gonna make you know that. All right, so
all right,
that first tour is a 7 series story, you know, because in every culture you have a Judas, a Bagawaya. In our culture, our Judas is Bagawaya. Bagawaya sell out Marcus Garvey peas and rice. All right, so I have the first story pamphlet to release with Alexander Bedward and Marcus. When the Bedwardites saved Marcus Garvey's life. Yeah, because Marcus Garvey was chased by the colonial governments, the English at that time. And he was chased, bullets were rushed at him, and you have Maroons, which were black people who take side with the English, were at the manhunt also. So this will be published soon, and this is a very interesting story how Marcus Garvey's life was saved by the Bedwardites. And this is to show people how deep Bedward and Marcus Garvey were connected. Right. It's not just a proclaim or talk about thing. These are things which happened. And the more people understand what happened in the past, they can create a better future.
And we want to ask you also, will there be like a published manuscript or paperback or something like that?
Of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
You know, when I'm on that thing, you know, and the articles and everything, all right. You know, because
Yeah, man, cause it a go the Amazon and all of them little place where you can find books to read.
okay, all right, exactly. You know, Barnes and Noble, etc., etc., etc. Nice.
And probably me send you a couple of copies for the fans too. Yeah, because life is not about money, you know. Life is about to get what is to be get unto the people so they can create a better consciousness.
Um, that's quite cool. Oh, we know there's social network and everything there, but is there like a website or something to that effect that's going
Okay,
on right now?
alright. Presently the Alexander Bedward Foundation website will be launched say next month.
Yeah.
Right. Right, because
Oh,
we find ourselves now we have enough to put on this platform. Because we could have created a website it long ago because it could be. But I wanted the people to get an attention first. And while they get their attention, the hunger will become the hunger will arise now them now for want to know where me can find this man, where me can find this information, where me can find this. So the time is now for the website. So by next month the website will be launched.
and for you social network to see this Instagram. You mean Instagram, right?
Right, and you know me all over social media, Instagram and Facebook. Those are my two.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Them all at once so that we can see what's happening because I can see all the stuff that you're doing, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm. Cause
Yeah, no.
sometimes we have to spend time to help the dead too, you know. Yeah, cause it may be so in a way. You have a whole heap of people who pass and gone with never get that due justice there, so we are here to give them that due justice so we can give them it. Right or am I wrong?
Very right.
Mm-hmm.